In a village where the dead still watch the living, one man crossed a sacred line, and by the seventh night, he was begging for his life. In the village of Umunagu, stories moved faster than Harmattan wind, and if you stayed quiet long enough, you could hear the soil whisper the sins of men. Among these whispered names was Chisom, tall, fine-featured, quick-tongued, and honey-eyed. Women loved him. Elders tolerated him. But behind the charming smile and strong arms was a man addicted to forbidden fruit. He had slept with maidens, wives, even the daughter of a titled man. But still, Chisom was empty. What he truly craved was power, not the one held in shrines or councils, but the kind only men who break taboos feel. Nothing happens unless you get caught. He often laughed with his friends. He had been caught before, whipped, warned, even cursed, but never broken, until he met Neoma. Neoma had been married to Pa Igwemba, one of the oldest men in Umunagu. When he died, villagers claimed his spirit stood by the doorway of their home, guarding the mourning rites. According to custom, Neoma was to mourn for 28 days, inside her house, covered in black, silent at night, and unseen by men. On the third day of her mourning, Chisom passed by. He claimed he came to pay respects, but his eyes wandered. He saw how grief made her face look even softer, how loneliness sat on her shoulders like a garment. "Neoma," he said gently, "I brought yam for you." She did not respond. He returned again, this time with palm wine, then with soup, then with flattery. "You are too beautiful to hide in shadow." On the seventh night, the moon hid behind clouds. Chisom crept into her house. She was seated on the mat, hands clasped, eyes hollow. "Neoma," he whispered. She shook her head. "Please leave." He stepped closer. "Let the living comfort the grieving." Again she said, firmer this time, "Chisom, go." But she did not scream, not because she agreed, but because widows in mourning were forbidden to raise their voices at night. Chisom mistook her silence for desire. It was the last mistake he would ever make. By morning, Neoma was gone, vanished. Some said she ran, others said she was taken by her husband's spirit. Chisom shrugged. "She'll be back." But that night, he could not sleep. His dreams inverted. He dreamt he was awake, and when he was awake, he felt like he was dreaming. Food tasted like sand. His body felt wet, even when dry. By the second night, flies began to follow him, swarming around his face, even though he'd just bathed. The third night, he woke up screaming, clawing at his own body. "Something is sitting on my chest." On the fourth night, he saw Neoma in his dream, but her face was covered with white clay, her eyes black. "You defiled my silence," she said, "and now your own voice will mean nothing." He awoke unable to speak. They took Chisom to Dibia Ogona, the village spiritualist. The old man placed kola on the ground, cracked them, and frowned. "You broke a sacred mourning," Ogona said. "A woman's silence is not an invitation. Her isolation is protected by the ancestors. You spat on ancestral law." "I thought she wanted—" Chisom tried to defend. Ogona cut him off. "She told you to go." The Dibia sprinkled ash into a calabash. "You have 7 days to cleanse your spirit, or you will vanish into the earth, same way Neoma did." Each day blurred into the next. By day 5, Chisom's feet no longer touched the ground in his dreams. He floated, haunted by whispers. Thief of silence. Breaker of sacred things. He tried to beg the gods. He rolled in dust, wept before elders. Even the women he once seduced turned their faces. By day 6, his shadow no longer followed him. That night, he saw himself inside a coffin, alive, screaming, while people danced around him. At sunset, he crawled to the center of the village. "Neoma," he shouted, "I am sorry." But no voice came, only flies, only silence. The wind began to howl. Suddenly, the air turned cold. From the trees, a figure emerged. Neoma, dressed in white, eyes glowing. "You were warned," she said, "but you chose yourself." He fell to his knees. "Please, let me live." She touched his forehead. "You will live, but not as you were." And then everything went dark. Chisom woke up the next morning, in the market square, naked, surrounded by villagers. But he could no longer lie. Every word he said revealed his inner thoughts. A child asked, "Uncle, are you okay?" He replied, "No. I am broken. I violated a widow. I deserve this." Gasps, shame, laughter, pity. He had been cursed with truth forever. In every village, every culture, there are lines you must not cross. Chisom crossed one and lost his voice, his pride, and his peace. Would you survive the wrath of the ancestors? Tell us in the comments. If this story moved you, like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful African tales from enchanted African realms. Don't forget to turn on notifications. A new story drops every week.